Hey friends, this is Wendy with Love and Stampin'. I am so excited that you're here with me today. We are going to be using a Hey Cupcake stamp set from Trinity Stamps and some fun products from Pear Blossom Press. I actually ended up not using this vellum, but this vellum and this stamp set are great if you want to make light up cards or if you just need a pack of different colored vellum. This is a great one to buy. We also ended up not using these little candles from Pear Blossom, but we do use the Candlelight. I'm very excited about the Candlelight. You've seen me make one other card with this. It is the coolest thing. Pop the battery in place, turn it on, and then you blow it out. It is the coolest thing ever. If you don't already have a Candlelight, you can pick one up at Pear Blossom Press. The link is below the video, as is the link to this stamp set and die, which are beautiful. FYI, there is a video hop and a Instagram hop. Make sure that you hop along to be entered to win goodies. Okay, I am stamping all of my images with my Misty in Hero Arts Intensified Black ink because I am going to Copic color these images. So starting out here with a piece of 8.5 by 5.5, I think this is Nina Solar White cardstock. Yes, it is. And I'm going to ink these up, stamp them down, and then we are going to color and die cut and assemble. And this card really came together cute. I wasn't sure. There was a point, friends, in this card making adventure that I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but it ends up coming together fantastic. Because this was a brand new to me stamp set, I did have to stamp this 2 times to make this work and get all my lines nice and dark. But you can also take a eraser or a really soft like microfiber cloth and run it across your photopolymer stamps, and that kind of like seasons them to be ready to use. I'm just lazy and I don't do that. One thing I want to note is you may notice there's some little bit of funky stamping there with that W on the wish. That is just a weird fluky defect on this particular set. It happens very rarely, but it happens every once in a while where when a photopolymer stamp is being made, it just like the photopolymer doesn't lay correctly, but I fix it with no problem. And this stamp set is perfectly great, usable, no problem. So here I am using my Copic markers to color a rainbow on my candle. And what I've done is I've chosen colors that have a 7 or a 9 at the end of them to make sure that they will all blend well. For the base of my cupcake, I'm going to use my go-to red combo, which is R59, R29, R35, and R32. This is my favorite red color combination for just kind of a true red. And I'm going and making it dark where the lines are and lighter towards the center. Cupcake wrappers have like peak valley folds, so you want to make one side of them look like they're going in, and where it's lighter, it will pull to the foreground and be lighter. So I actually went over this a couple of times because I didn't quite get the look I was looking for the first time. So don't be afraid to play. When you are coloring, just go for it and try everything. That's my theory anyway. I think that when we try more ideas, or practice more, we end up getting better at our craft. So here, again, just kind of going over everything to get it the way I wanted, and then I was very happy with it. For the icing, I want the icing to appear white as like a vanilla icing. So I just used my C5, C3, and C1 to add shading. Where the illustrator for this stamp set already made the darker lines, I just went in and added a little bit of shading in those areas to make this icing appear more of a white look. We end up adding a bunch of clear embellishments over the top of this cupcake at the end anyway, so it's easy peasy. For the wish, I did the same thing that I did on the candle, and then I just went in with a little Copic marker or a pen and fixed that one little area of the W, and it was as good as new. You didn't even know there was an issue. And then we're going to die cut everything out, and this card is going to be well on its way to being finished. We just have to do some fun assembly with our light, and that is super easy too. Here for the background, I decided I was going to use a sentiment from the stamp set, stamp it all over this piece of oh no, that's not true. This is a piece of 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 Nina Solar White cardstock, and we are making a 5 by 7 card because this cupcake is huge. It's a really large cupcake, and it is not going to fit on a normal A2 size card. The other thing to note about this cupcake when you die cut it, there really isn't any cake part in the middle. It's just the icing kind of tucked on top of or inside of the wrapper. So it turns out great, looks great, but there's really no center cake area to color in, just so you're aware. So here I'm just adding little edging pieces so that it looks like this is a continuous pattern. That is a great tip whenever you're making your own pattern paper, is you always want to stamp off the edge. I like to start with my largest images and then fill in with my smaller images. In this case, we just have this little candle guy here. And so I'm going to go around and stamp this candle in a bunch of different places to fill in between the happy birthday. I contemplating coloring all the candles in different colors to kind of have a rainbow pattern, but I was afraid that would take away too much from the cupcake. And I didn't really like the stark white contrast between the stamping and the cardstock. So I actually ended up doing some ink blending, which I'm going to speed up a lot. We use some black soot and some cobblestone from Concord and Ninth. So what is happening, friends? What is happening? There's been a lot happening. I want to just ask really quick for more prayers for Ashley, my niece, and little baby Emery. They are back in the hospital. This little turkey burger just is not doing what she's supposed to. She was actually admitted for failure to thrive. So that's a little scary. It's, a little bit scary, but they think they're figuring some things out finally, and it sounds like she actually might get to go home tomorrow with lots of monitoring. So please hold them up in your prayers or good thoughts. I would really, really appreciate it. Also, if you could just be praying specifically that they are able to reintroduce breast milk, that would be super awesome. The current formula that they're getting her to consume is $60 a can. So my niece really, is stressing about the cost of that formula. All family members have reassured them that if that is what she has to remain on, it will be okay, and we will all pitch in and help out and do what we can. But as you can imagine, as a young first-time mom, her ultimate goal was to breastfeed, and obviously this cost of this particular formula is very expensive. So anyways, if you could just keep them in prayer, that would be so much appreciated. So there's that. That has been going on. I actually took them to the doctor's appointment on Friday and then took them to the hospital where they were admitted Friday afternoon. So that was going on. And then the day after that, we went to Lumberjack Days, which was a really cool event held in the mountains. And they had logging competitions. My husband competed in a horseshoe tournament, and I sort of kind of helped my friend put on a rib dinner for the fire department. She is the president of the fire association, so they raise money for the firefighters and for the fire department by hosting one of the dinners or lunches, I guess technically it's a lunch, that is part of Lumberjack Days. So Lumberjack Days itself is not actually fundraiser, but the firehouse puts on a fundraiser meal, and so the money they raise they get to keep. So that was pretty cool, and so I got to help a little bit with that, and I definitely ate some ribs and potatoes, which were delicious. And so that was Saturday. We had a really good time, my husband and I. We pretty much are back to being like a couple just by ourselves again, which has been interesting. That's new. That's a new turn of events for us. My daughter, as you guys know, has gotten her license and we don't see much of her, if I'm being totally honest. She comes and goes as she pleases for the most part. She's a really good kid. She, of course, has to check in and ask and all of those normal things. But really, I don't say no to her. There's nothing she's doing that's, nefarious. So I let her do pretty much what she wants. She likes to do things like go to the coffee house, go ride her horse, go to friends. Been to a couple kayaking, hiking trips. She house sitted for somebody. So, just fun kid stuff. She worked at a couple of dinners recently for FFA. They are dinners actually for other community things, but they always ask the FFA kids to help with serving. So she worked at a couple of those the last couple weekends. So she's been busy. So we just don't see a lot of her. So for 2 weekends in a row now, my husband and I have gone off and done things just by ourselves. We went to the lake by ourselves on the boat, which was weird. We've never done that before. It wasn't weird. It was fun, but it was weird that she wasn't with us. We went to lumberjack days, just the two of us. And so, yeah, we're just kind of in that phase of life where we're starting to figure out what this looks like and is like doing things together just by ourselves. And of course, my daughter is still going to do stuff with us on occasion, but she has a newfound freedom right now, and we're not going to stifle that at this time. We're going to let her enjoy that for a while. I think every person, when they turn 16, 17, and they get their license, they have this, newfound freedom that's just this independence that's so foreign to them, and they like to explore that. And so we're just kind of in the phase of life of letting her explore that and enjoy it. And we're hoping she stays on the straight and narrow path so that we don't have to become enforcers, if you know what I'm saying. So here I just grabbed some clear gems. I did not have any gems from Trinity, but they do have embellishments and stuff. So I just added some clear gems here to just liven things up a little bit on this cupcake. I know you can't see them that great here on the card, but in real life you can see them really well. So we're going to make a 5x7 card base. I cut this at 10x7, scored it at 5, and I'm just using my bone folder here to burnish the edge. And then I'll go ahead and add this entire panel to the card front, and this card will be completely done. There on the back you could see another idea that I tried that just didn't work, so I abandoned it. But there's two sides to paper and you got to use both sides. So here I'm just going to go ahead and add that. You see there I blew the candle out. I'm telling you, the amount of joy you get out of pushing the button, lighting the candle up, and blowing it out is amazing. When you give one of these cards to your recipient, you have to include an insert that lets them know that they push the button and then they blow the candle out. So yeah, this card is finished. That is the entire card. I love how this card came together. After I finished filming the video, I actually ended up using a little bit of glimmery pen, the little glimmer pens, Winkostella, to add a little bit of prettiness, and then that was it. So that is the whole finished card, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you go to the blog hop, Instagram hop, or I should say video hop and Instagram hop. Enter to win, comment on everybody's stuff, and I hope I catch you in another video. If you want to see another one I've done, you can click either one you see here. Click the circle with my face on it to subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye-bye, friends.